James with the Passive House Accelerator. Thanks for tuning into this special episode of the Passive House podcast. We'll be talking about Reimagine Buildings '24, a 24-hour around-the-world global online conference. Today, we'll be speaking with Jessica Groves-Smith, Joint Managing Director of the International Passive House Institute, who will be a featured speaker at Reimagine Buildings '24. Welcome to the podcast, Jessica. It's great to have you join me.
Thanks a lot, Mary. Hi, great to be here.
First, thank you for being a community partner for the RB24 event. Can you tell us a little bit about why PHI agreed to support this event and what you'll be doing?
Sure. We were super excited when the Passive House Accelerator team reached out to us. I think conversation started late last year about this idea of a new style of event, really bringing together the international community of Passive House with this 24-hour style. We were super intrigued what it would look like, and definitely on board from the beginning to support it. I mean, Passive House Institute and our International Passive House Association, we're all about kind of thinking global, but acting locally. So enabling local participants, but having really a global community to push for better buildings internationally, and having this international event to showcase projects around the world so we can all learn from each other is really perfectly in line with what we do at the International Passive House Association. So it was a no-brainer. It was clear that we would support this event and be part of it as supporters.
Yes, it's always been such a strength of PHI and the International Passive House Association. And there are a range of iPHA projects being presented throughout the RB24 event. Are there any that you know about that you're super excited about among those projects that you think the audience should be sure not to miss?
Many. It's a tough question. I was looking at the program earlier, and it's really exciting. Many highlights. I was excited to see that there are quite a number of retrofit projects on there, and we have all different climates represented. So there's some of them very hot climates. The project in the United Arab Emirates, for example, is a pioneer project that shows how Passive House is implemented in very hot climates. But you also have a very diverse kind of project typologies and pioneering projects there, like the St Sidwell's Point Leisure Centre in the UK, for example, that also shows the Passive House can be implemented for more complex and challenging projects. So overall, kind of a great mix. I couldn't say which one is the one that you have to be there because there's so many great ones. I'm really excited that you're recording this because I'll be going back to watch those times where I can't actually be joining live.
Yes, and for those who don't know what a leisure center encompasses, there's part of the challenge of that project is that there's a swimming pool, indoor swimming pool, right? And dealing with the humidity in there is
exactly
a challenge.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, and St Sidwell's was the first in the UK, and it's really shown how this can be implemented. We now have a number of more projects following suit. So it's one of those examples where you show that ripple effect. You have one project and then it really inspires for others to follow. So definitely one to watch.
And I'm excited because there's such a, as you mentioned, wide range of climate types that these projects represent. So, and you know, what's interesting to me about it is that some of these climates are, as you say, it's kind of a new experience dealing with them. And conversely, some of them, the PHI has had more extensive experience with, so they're not routine, but maybe not quite as challenging. I was wondering if there are any that you want to highlight for the sort of newness of dealing with that particular climate type.
Well, I mean, Passive House came out of Central Europe, so we're certainly more familiar with the cold, cooler temperate climates. So all the projects that are in hotter conditions are the newer ones and really exciting ones where we need to be sharing experience. There's one session where colleagues of mine are speaking about the developments in China, which is very exciting. And those are challenging climates because they have to deal with very, very cold conditions in winter, but then also the hot and humid in summer, and getting energy efficient solutions to deal with both of those, optimizing the buildings to deal with both of those extreme scenarios, and having good and efficient cooling and dehumidification solutions is definitely an interesting, fascinating topics. that our scientists, so Bertolt Kaufmann and Wei, will be sharing projects and also kind of the scientific or the approaches for cooling and dehumidification.
And as you mentioned, there's also a number of retrofits and a wide variety of climate types. And there will be a couple of talks related to outfit. Can you just, for those who don't know what outfit is, can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Outfit is a EU-funded project that PHI and several of our partners have been involved in for a few years now. And the focus of Outfit was really to advance research and develop solutions of being able to do prefabricated retrofit or panelized retrofit at scale to passive house to high energy efficiency levels. That's what Outfit is all about. And some of those pilot projects or some of those projects and solutions will be presented throughout Reimagine Buildings, including some of the projects in Innsbruck in Austria.
Which is where Sinfonia, which was an earlier retrofit research effort, was based. I mean, Innsbruck and Bolzano in Italy, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, Sinfonia is quite a few years ago, but that was also a EU-funded project where we had developed a lot of the retrofit solutions and the NFIT standard to really show that using the passive house concept and principles for retrofit also works and can bring us a long way. That's where we established the NFIT standard. And
if people get a taste for wanting to know more about outfit, there is a way that they can do that.
There's a great opportunity. Speaking about Innsbruck, which is the International Passive House Conference, which is coming up a month after Reimagine Buildings. So it's early April, 5th to 7th of April. And that is happening in Innsbruck. So we have a great program there, picking up on Reimagine Buildings, also having lots of project features there. And the focus of the event is retrofits. So there'll be a lot of outfit projects featured there and an opportunity on the last day of the conference to visit actual retrofit projects in Innsbruck that were developed within Sinfonia, within Outfit and beyond. Some really fantastic examples of deep energy retrofits in Innsbruck.
Well, I'm super excited about both events. But of course, RB24 is maybe easier for some people to attend since it will be virtual. And thank you so much, Jessica, for coming by and talking with us about all the iPHA projects that we're going to get to hear about.
Thank you, Mary. Looking forward to the event.
Thanks for tuning in to this special episode of the Passive House podcast, featuring some upcoming guests for our Reimagine Buildings '24, happening on March 7th and 8th. Reimagine Buildings is a global online conference that will provide information, connections and inspiration to make buildings that can change the world. Over the course of 24 hours, we'll circumnavigate the globe, unveiling a new innovative building project every hour, complete with actionable solutions and lessons from around the world. Also earn AIA credits. RB24 live program sessions will be submitted for AIA CEs in partnership with AIA New York State. And for students, check out our scholarships and special student discounts. Many thanks to NYSERDA for being the stakeholder sponsor of RB24. Register now for Reimagine Buildings '24 and use the promo code PODCAST for a 20% discount.